we're gonna make some makeshift fish hooks. This is a locust tree and it doesn't take a lot to imagine these things as hooks. They're very, very sharp little thorns. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You want to make sure first of all that you're not using dead wood. You want the actual live wood so that it's not too brittle. Let me see. I think I want it about right here. Isn't that lovely? You see, it won't take very much to turn that into a little hook. Now, there's another type of hook you can make that'll be a little bit stronger, but for that we're gonna need the long red thorns, and I know where we can find some. A locust tree. I know it's a little bit hard to see. I'm gonna bring it closer so you can tell what this is. They typically grow anywhere that there's water. They're gonna grow relatively close to the water. They grow these long, really hard, really, really sharp red thorns. Of course, this is just a very young one, but if you run across one, there's no mistaking what it is. These things are really sharp. If I can break one off, I'll bring it to you. Alright, I'm going to show you what that looks like. See that? Now with this, the only thing you're really going to need to do, cut the bottom off. Best you can. Cut you a little groove around the top. And that groove is going to be to hold your fishing line secure. Or if you have time to whittle, you could sit there with another larger thorn and poke a hole through the top and get yourself a nice little eye. Okay, and then you're gonna have that. This is really sharp. See how easily that's stuck in my finger? You're not gonna catch a 200-pound catfish with this, but you'll get a nice 2 or 3 pound lunch. Now, ow, see? Nice little fish hook. Now you can get some line out of your survival kit and tie to that, or you can use the materials around you to make you a nice little trout line or fishing line. If you don't know how to do that, go back to my video on how to make rope and bowstring and use that same technique. You can make you a good little line. Now you can do the same thing with the smaller thorns that we found. You can whittle this down to a nice little hook, or you can take your thorns, break them off. Alright, for your straight thorn hook, you want to get your homemade cordage. If you don't know how to do this, again, just go to alexeg.com to the Survival HT page and look up the video on how to make rope and bowstring. Same technique. You can use, for a really tight line, you can use horsehair or human hair. But anytime you're harvesting horsehair for things like this, remember to always cut it from the mane and not from the tail. Even though the tail hair is longer and thicker and stronger, that's really their only way of swatting flies off. So you want to be nice to the horsey and just take it from his mane. Or you can use milkweed, which is what I typically use. Okay, you want to take your string, pull it up a little bit, give it a good twist, stick your thorn right through it, like that. Twist, double it back. Go through it again, and once you have a double line through, you want to take this back up, twist it in, and tie it off to keep it good and secure. Now, there's another thing that's going to keep this nice and tight. When you put your worm on this, you want to run him through here and run his body up over this. What that's going to do, it's going to hold your thorn nice and tight in, but it's also going to cause the fish to take the whole thorn in. And once the thorn is inside the fish, what's usually going to happen is, as it starts pulling, it's going to open up a little more. And you don't really want to practice this a whole lot because it's typically going to probably kill your fish because he's going to usually swallow this thorn. So, I mean, if you practice it, you're going to have to eat whatever you catch. No wasting. And then you'll get your makeshift. Now, again, if you don't have fishing line to tie around the top of your locust hooks, you can use your homemade line. Use this line. Same process. I like these, they have the double barb. You don't have to use those. You can cut one of these off and make a more typical hook. But for these, I like to run that through there. Like that. And tie it up. And there's your hook. Put your worm all the way up here so that the fish will swallow. Same technique if you're only going to use half of it. We'll run it on this side. Run it through. tie it up. Ow! Ow! Don't stick yourself. That's what you get. Sticking me. Okay, so there's your hook.